שוכחים לחזור, אז בלילות קרים, עם פנס מתחת לשמיכה הם מדברים, והוא מגלה למים בשבילו, כל עולמו מוגן מתחת לשמיכה. אצלנו בגן נפרדים בשמחה, כי היום לא ארוך ונפגשים שוב מחר, חוץ מאלה שפתאום לא חוזרים יותר לגן. הוא נשאר רק עברו דירה מעבר לענן, אז בלילות קרים, עם פנס מתחת לשמיכה הם מדברים, והוא מגלה למים בשבילו, היא בוכה כשהוא מציע לה להיות כל עולמו בערב שלפני המלחמה. אצלנו בגדוד יש המון ילדים, את חלקם אני אוהב, את חלקם אני לא אכיר.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Asaf Ofek Averbach, and I would like to thank you all for joining us this evening. This is the third year we gather here at the Museum of Tolerance, Jerusalem, to mark Memorial Day with English-speaking bereaved families and members of the English-speaking community of the State of Israel. We will also be joined by Jews from across the world who are watching the ceremony live with us. We would like to welcome the museum's delegation who are with us tonight, all the way from the US, in a meaningful show of solidarity with Israel and the Jewish people. Tonight, the Museum of Tolerance Jerusalem, an international lighthouse for human dignity and dialogue, joins hands with the IDF Widow and Orphans Organization, which supports widows and orphans of the IDF, the Israeli police, Border Patrol, and the security forces including Shabak and Mossad. The organization embraces with deep love those women and men who lost their spouses in Israel's ongoing and often extraordinary security reality, as well as in its wars. And of course, we remember the children left behind. Many of them not only without a father, but also without a mother. Tonight, we remember and remind. We share the stories of the fallen and of the women left behind, carrying memories and deep longing. On this day, we embrace all our loved ones, Israel's fallen, as well as the 315 widows and 730 orphans, including the 39 children born since October 7th, who have joined Israel's ever-growing family of bereavement. Beside us stands an empty chair in memory of the fallen whose bodies are still held by Hamas, and for our brothers and sisters held in captivity. We are longing so deeply for their safe return. Throughout the evening, we're accompanied by the IDF Education and Youth Corps Band with songs that reflect pain and loss, but also hope. We opened with Etzlenu Bagan, a song written during Operation Protective Edge, Tzuk Eitan, a metaphor of loss through the eyes of kindergarten children who's lost their friends. In this war, Swords of Iron, Charavot Barzel, the song gained new meaning. The singer, Shaili Atari, a resident of Kibbutz Kfar Aza, was attacked in her own home. Her husband, Yahav, fought off a terrorist who tried to break into their safe room. She escaped with her 1-month-old daughter. 3 days later, she learned that Yahav had been murdered. The memorial torch will be lit by Pesi, widow of Staff Sergeant Naftali Yona Golden, of blessed memory. Naftali, one of 6 siblings, was born in New York and made Aliyah at a 1.5 years old. He grew up in Cheshmonaim, and after high school, he worked as a counselor at a boarding school for blind children and later served in the armed forces. His friends describe him as the happiest of them all and a loyal friend who had a calming presence that brought peace of mind to those in his company. After his military service, he fulfilled his dream of becoming a physical therapist. In 2019, he married Bessie, and together they had 2 daughters, Libby and Geffen. Naftali embraced fatherhood, a role that suited him perfectly. On the morning of Simchat Torah, Naftali volunteered for reserve duty without hesitation, but only after making sure Bessie agreed. For him, the righteousness of the cause was never in doubt. Naftali fell in battle in Sajaiya on the 24th of Kislev, Tafshin Pei Daled, December 7th, 2023. He was 32 years old. He is buried in Mount Herzl. Bessie's sister, Malkarov, was murdered in the Sbarro restaurant bombing in Jerusalem in 2001. Today, Bessie is accompanied by casualty officer, Lieutenant Colonel in the reserves, Yael Hochman, who has stood by the family side over since the devastating day, every step of the way, with love and unwavering support. Kaddish will be recited by Itai, the youngest of 4 children of Lieutenant Colonel in the reserves, Yochai Gur Hirschberg, of blessed memory. On October 7th, Yochai was called up for reserve duty in the Human Resources Corps, serving as the commander of the Eitan unit, the missing persons search unit in Division 98. Yochai was the owner of the Philip Farm, near Kiryat Gat, where he continued his father's agricultural tradition, focusing on both farming and tourism. For many years, he maintained a close relationship with the Bedouin community in the Negev, becoming a symbol of coexistence. He fell in battle on the 22nd of Kislev, Tafshin Pei Daled, December 5th, 2023. He was 52 years old. He's buried in the cemetery in Gedera. Itai is accompanied by Captain Eran Sandrovich, commander of the Eitan team in Division 98, a close friend of Yochai and his deputy. After Yochai's passing, Captain Sandrovich took over his role. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the memorial tribute.
התגדל והתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דיר ברא חירותה, והמליך מלאכותה, ויצמח פורקנה, וקרב משיחה, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יש שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יהיה שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי דקודשי בריך הוא לעלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשובחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא. ואמרו אמן. יהיה שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
The prayer of El Maleh Rachamim will be recited by the reserve military cantor, Asaf Nagel, a military cantor in reserve duty, father of 2 soldiers, a younger son yet to enlist, and a daughter who served as a combat soldier in an elite unit. Asaf currently serves as a cantor in Miami Beach, Florida.
El Maleh Rachamim, God full of mercy, is a prayer that carries the depth of our love and the sorrow of our loss. It is whispered in mourning, spoken at gravesides, and passed down through generations as a sacred tribute to those who are no longer with us. More than just words, this prayer is a cry from the soul, a plea for God to embrace the departed in eternal peace, to lift them gently into a realm of light, serenity, and compassion. It envisioned their souls soaring beneath the wings of angels, never alone, never forgotten. El Maleh Rachamim, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה, על כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים, טהורים וגיבורים, כזוהר הגיע מאירים ומזהירים לנשמות חללי מערכות ישראל שנפלו במלחמות ישראל, בפעולות הגנה, תגמול וביטחון, בעת מילוי תפקידם ובעת שירותם, ושחרפו נפשם למות על קדושת השם ובעזרת אלוהי מערכות ישראל הביאו לתקומת האומה והמדינה ולגאולת הארץ ועיר האלוהים. בעבור שאנו מתפללים לעילוי נשמותיהם בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולם. נחלתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימים ונאמר אמן.
Yizkor will be recited by Rabbi Dr. Benji Levy. Rabbi Dr. Benji Levy is the co-founder and CEO of Share Mainstreaming Holistic, Soulful, and International Jewish Living. Previously, he was the CEO of Mosaic United, a unique partnership between the State of Israel and philanthropists around the world focused on building Jewish identity, and Dean of Moriah College, one of the largest Jewish schools in the world. He has supported many victims of terror in these difficult times.
These words to remember the children and the parents, the women and the men, which I'm about to say, is not just a declaration. It's a duty that the IDF Orphans and Widows organization exists to uphold. Let us all take this upon ourselves to not just remember the past, but to build the future together. Yizkor Am Yisrael et banav uvnotav, הנאמנים והאמיצים, חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, וכל לוחמי המחתרות וחטיבות הלוחמים במערכות העם, וכל אנשי קהילות המודיעין, הביטחון, המשטרה ושירות בתי הסוהר, אשר חירפו נפשם במלחמה על תקומת ישראל, וכל אלה שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי מרצחים מארגוני הטרור. יזכור ישראל ויתברך בזרעו, ויבל על זיו העלומים, בחמדת גבורה, וקדושת הרצון, ומסירות הנפש של הנספים במערכה הכבדה. יהיו חללי מערכות ישראל עטורי הניצחון, חתומים בלב ישראל לדור דור.
I never imagined life without you. I never imagined sitting on the floor and telling my kids that their dad was killed in war.
I never imagined you would leave me this soon. I never imagined my daughters would grow up fatherless from such a young age.
I never imagined how many Jewish people from all around the world would come and help.
I never imagined that we would only have 1 year together, but that year would strengthen me so much.
I never imagined a relationship with a loved one could continue after their death.
And I never imagined the courage and the inspiration they would bring to us all.
It is my honor to invite the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Museum of Tolerance. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Larry Meisel, please share a few words with us.
Good evening. It is a profound honor to welcome you to the Museum of Tolerance, Jerusalem. We're deeply grateful to stand in the presence of the IDF soldiers and their families, IDF-WO President Mr. Yossi Cohn, Chairwoman Tommy Sheila, Museum of Tolerance Jerusalem Co-Chair Rabbi Marvin Heyer, and our Special Managing Director Jonathan Riss. Tonight's ceremony is held entirely in English, was created for the English-speaking community so that you too can fully take part in this national moment of reflection, a time to mourn, to remember, to honor. Since September 7th, more than 600 IDF soldiers have given their lives. Thousands more have been wounded, families shattered, futures cut short, and yet, even in the shadow of such loss, hope endures. This evening, we shine a light on the story of the lone soldiers, young men and women who left behind everything to stand with the people of Israel. Their courage reminds us the Jewish people are one family, no matter where we live. This moment is shared not only by those here, but by the communities watching around the world. In this darkness, our unity matters more than ever. Though I may live in Denver, my heart and much of my philanthropic work is firmly rooted here. When one thinks of museums, the mind often conjures images of spaces that preserve the past. But the Museum of Tolerance Jerusalem is rooted in the present and deeply committed to shaping a more hopeful future. The museum stands as a lighthouse of human dignity, a space for healing, dialogue, and understanding. Its soaring ceilings and architectural bathed in natural light reflect its core values: openness and transparency, and the illuminating power of truth. It is the ideal setting for the critical and courageous conversations our society so desperately needs. Our social lab uses cutting-edge technology to challenge bias and help visitors see themselves in the other. Our School for Civic Discourse and School of Leadership prepares a new generation, from teens to commanders, to become bridge builders in a divided world. They are not just programs. They are urgent responses to the fractures in Israeli society and blueprints for healing and resilience. In our flagship exhibit, 0629 From Darkness to Light, curated by our dear partner, Malki Shem Tov, father of the released hostage, Omer Shem Tov, ensures the voices of courageous women from October 7th will never be forgotten. It stands as a beacon in the storm, just like this gathering. So tonight, let us carry forward the memory of the fallen, not only in silence, but in purpose. Let us turn our sorrow into unity and our unity into strength. May their memories be a blessing, and may the future we build together be one of peace. Thank you.
עוד מעט יעוף הנשר, עוד מעט 2000 רגל מהקשר, וכמעט הוא מגיע אליך.
כמעט המבול מתחיל לרדת, רק עוד קצת עד שלא נוכל לסקת, וכמעט הוא נוגע גם בנו כמו זכר נשכח, והריח שלו אני כמעט כבר בטוח, אני כמעט כבר לא. ובן רגע אתה שוב מופיע כמו פזמון חוזר, כמו שריקה ברוח, ואני עוד שואל איך אני עוד מתבלבל כשרואה אותך עוד מחייך בקצה השביל, כאילו הכל כרגיל.
עוד מעט יורם העוגן, עוד מעט ונפליג עד קצה האופק, וכמעט אני שטה אליך ואתה כבר לא שם. הכחול מתערפל והלב מתקפל ורגע אחד אתה
ובן רגע אתה שוב מופיע כמו פזמון חורף, כמו שריקה ברוח, ואני עוד שואל איך אני עוד מתבלבל כשרואה אותך עוד מחייך בקצה השביל, כאילו הכל כרגיל. ובמעוף הציפור הפכת לרוח, היית לעד בחור ובקור, אתה יכול עכשיו כבר לנוח בריא על האבן הנצח אזכור. ובן רגע אתה שוב מופיע כמו פזמון חוזר, כמו שריקה ברוח, כשרואה אותך עוד מחייך בקצה השביל, ממשיך עוד לגדול כאילו הכל כרגיל.
I would like to thank the IDF Education and Youth Corps Band for joining me to sing my song, Kimat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to invite Mr. Yossi Cohen, former head of the Mossad and president of IDF Widows and Orphans Organization's International Friends Association, to address us with his remarks.
Mr.
Mr. Larry Meisel, Chairman of the Board of the Trustees of the Museum of Tolerance in Jerusalem, Jonathan Rees, Managing Director of the museum, Ambassador Dani Danon, Israel's permanent representative to the United Nations, Rabbi Marvin Hoyer, founder and CEO and president of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, Zehava Gross-Meidan, the new chairwoman of the IDF Widows and Orphans Organization, and my dear friend Shlomi Nachumson, who is the CEO of the organization. Dear families, dear friends, tonight we gather here in solemn reverence, united by the profound pain of loss and the sacred duty to honor those who gave their lives for the State of Israel. Each fallen soldier, each and victim of terrorism is not only a hero, but a cherished member of our broader family, whose absence we profoundly feel and whose courage continues to inspire us all. In my years as head of the Mossad, and as a soldier of the State of Israel, I encountered extraordinary acts of bravery, all kinds of bravery. Yet, one of the truest terrorism I have witnessed comes not only from those who served, but from the families they left behind. The strength, resilience, and unwavering determination to carry forward the legacy of the loved ones is the greatest testament to the spirit of the nation. They show heroism every single day by enduring and nurturing memories and by showing us all the profound strength found in quiet dignity and hope. In my 40 years service, I stared directly into the eyes of the enemy, assumed different identities and embraced life-altering risks, all to ensure a safer and more secure future for our children, grandchildren, and the safety of the State of Israel and the Jewish people around the world. Dear guests, I stand before you not only as a member of the IDF Widows and Orphans Organization, but also as a bereaved family member, someone who personally knows the cost of our freedom. My beloved relatives, my cousins, Elchanan Kalmanzon and Pedaya Mark, fell heroically during the Iron Swords War. Elchanan, who had served honorably for many years within Israel's intelligence services, was killed while volunteering as a civilian to confront Hamas terrorists during the brutal attack on Kibbutz Be'eri. Pedaya, a courageous fighter in the Giv'ati reconnaissance unit, fell during fierce battle in Gaza, fighting with unwavering loyalty to his comrades and with a heart full of love of his people and homeland. Elchanan and Pedaya, Zichronam Livracha, were not only warriors, they were vibrant individuals filled with dreams and hope. Their loss is deeply personal, but the legacy belongs to the entire nation. This past year only, 319 of our finest men and women have fallen. 85 new widows and 163 new orphans have joined the ever-growing circle of grief. These numbers are not just statistics. They represent shattered families, broken futures, and hearts that will never fully heal. Each one deserves not only our remembrance, but our ongoing support as well. At the IDF Widows and Orphans Organizations, we are committed to standing by these families who must carry on despite unimaginable sorrow. Through emotional, medical, financial support and more, we offer not only assistance, but an unwavering promise. You are not alone. I would like to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to our chairwoman Zehava Gross-Meidan and to our CEO Shlomi Nachumson for their steadfast leadership, compassion, and tireless devotion. Their dedication ensures that the memory of our fallen is honored not only in words, but through meaningful action every single day. Tonight, as we stand together in silence, I hear the voices of Elchanan and Pedaya, my cousins, and of so many others, urging on and on, telling us to live lives worthy of their sacrifice, to transform grief into strength, to build a future of responsibility, unity that we need, and of course hope. In their honor and in the honor of all our fallen heroes, we reaffirm our commitment to cherish life, to defend it, and to certify it. Yet, and especially when we gather here in Remembering and Remembrance Day, we must not forget that the threats to the State of Israel have not ceased. Our enemies still seek to harm us, and chief among them is the Iranian regime, a government that openly calls for our destruction, fuels terrorism and terror across the region, and trying to purchase and to pursue nuclear capabilities. The Iranian threat is not just a strategic challenge. It is a moral one as well. It is the test of our unity, nationally and internationally. Our resilience and our unwavering determination to defend our people and homeland. The State of Israel must do everything in its power, diplomatically, politically, and if necessarily, operationally, to ensure that Iran never acquires nuclear weapons. Such weapons would pose an existential threat to our nation, our people, and the very future of the Jewish state. Just as our fallen stood bravely against danger, so too must we stand resolute against those who threaten the very existence of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as we honor the memory of those who have fallen, we cannot ignore the painful reality that continues to weigh on our hearts. 59 of our beloved ones remain held hostage by cruel heads of Hamas, a brutal terror organization. The national mission to bring them home swiftly and safely must remain at the forefront of our collective conscience. We owe it to them, to their families, and to the very values for which our fallen heroes sacrificed their lives. In the same spirit, we extend our heartfelt gratitude and admiration to the soldiers and commanders of the IDF and other security forces who tirelessly defend our homeland and protect our citizens day and night, often at great personal risk. Their courage and unwavering commitment are a living testament to the strength of our people and the hope for our future. May their memory and the memory of all Israel's fallen be a blessing and a guiding light for us all. Yehi Zecher HaNoflim Baruch.
שהבן אדם שכל כך אהבת אותו והיה הכל בשבילך הוא איננו, זה משהו שהוא בלתי נתפס, ואני לא דמיינתי לעצמי אף פעם שאני אתאלמן בגיל כזה צעיר עם 2 ילדים. הילדים עכשיו גדלים לתוך מציאות, לתוך מסע ארוך, וכל זה בלעדיו.
הייתי קוראת לחיבוקים שלו חיבוק דוב. זה מה שחסר לי, חיבוק פשוט. מבאס אותי. כל מה שקרה. כי זה לא מגיע לו.
I think now, after he died, he's still with me, in my heart. All the experiences I will, he sees this, and he's doing it with me.
כל החיים קרסו בשנייה. התחילו חיים חדשים לגמרי, שצריך ללמוד לחיות אותם.
I miss someone to talk with, to get his advice, to think together, that can back you up every time you need.
אני חושבת עליו כל הזמן, ושהוא כל הזמן איתי, ושהוא שומר עליי.
הכי מתגעגעת באמת לתחושת ביטחון ושלווה שהוא ילש רע. הוא היה מאוד מאוד רגוע ושלב עם האמונה שהכל יהיה בסדר. הוא תמיד זרם על הכל.
I would now like to invite 2 remarkable women to join me. Women who carry on their shoulders the pain and loss of Israel's wars. Daphna Russo, please join me here. Accompanying Daphna is Casualty Officer Lieutenant Colonel in the Reserves Dalia Sabak, who has been serving non-stop since October 7th, embracing Daphna and her family with unwavering support. Daphna lost her beloved husband, Uri, in the horrific massacre at Kibbutz Kfar Aza on October 7th. On that same day, her nephew, Neta Epstein, also a resident of Kfar Aza, was murdered. With us here are Uri's parents, Pnina and Yossi Russo, his brothers and his daughters, Maya, Alona, and Yeela. Daphna, we will speak in just a moment. I now invite Sigal Steiner Mansouri to join us. Sigal lost her 2 precious daughters, Norel, age 25, and Roya, age 22, who were murdered at the Nova Festival. Norel's fiancé, Amit Cohen, was also murdered that day. At 7:39 a.m. that morning, all contact with the girls was lost. The family launched a desperate search across hospitals in the south and center even setting up a situation room, trying anything they could to find me. They were forced to face two unbearable possibilities. One, that they had been kidnapped by Hamas, or two, that they had been murdered. The devastating news arrived, one message after another. Sigal is accompanied here today by Ms. Alice Debby, Director of Rehabilitation at the National Insurance Institute in Kfar Saba. Hi, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. October 7th, that terrible day. Where were you when it all began? Daphna.
At our home, we live in Kfar Aza. I was born and raised in Kfar Aza. And we were woken up by terrible sounds of Tzeva Adom and shooting, some Arabic. And that's when it all began.
What happened next?
Uri and me joined the girls in the safe room in our house. Uri stayed with us for maybe 2 minutes. He serves in the combat unit on the kibbutz. 2 minutes later, we hear the door close, and the girls ask me, "Is Dad gone?" And I said, "No, Dad doesn't go without saying goodbye." And that was the last we heard of him.
Do you want to share with us your experience as well?
I don't want to, but
I can imagine.
So the night before, it was Friday night, Simchat Torah, we had a lovely dinner together, and the kids were very excited to go to the Nova Festival. We actually were very excited since Norel and Amit announced that they are planning to get married this summer, actually, 2025. We had a toast l'chaim for them, and we felt that a lot of good things ahead of us. They left to the festival very excited, accompanied by my nephew Gal. They arrived after 1 a.m. and texted us that it's all good. And then the morning after, at 6:30 a.m., we woke up to the war sirens like many others in Israel. And we reached out to the girls immediately. They told us that they are trying to escape from the festival site, and they managed to get in a car, Norel, Roya, and Amit, with Gal, my nephew, and Noah, Nora's friend. Both of them are survivors from the same bomb shelter. And around 7 a.m. they were in the bomb shelter already. And we later learned that around 40 minutes after the terrorists started a massive shooting attack, throwing grenades in the shelter, trying to burn the migunit, the bomb shelter, from the inside. At 7:39 we lost contact. The communication went silent, and we actually we have been thrown into a very cruel journey.
I can only imagine what you're going through. Daphna, when we fought for your home, thank you. Already at 6:50 a.m., on his way to help a family whose house had been infiltrated by terrorists, he managed to eliminate 6 of them. Is there somehow a measure of comfort in that bravery for you?
I know why I chose Uri. I guess that's some of the reasons. I'm not surprised of his bravery. Uri is a very strong and capable man. I'm happy for him to have this story of bravery. Comfort, not so much.
Thank you for sharing the microphone as well. Sigal, you endured days of unbearable anxiety until the bitter news arrived. The second devastating message came during your very first week of mourning. Is that true? Could you tell us a little bit about that? Just let us share that moment with you. Feel a little bit of what you felt.
So you're taking me back to this, to that really challenging first week. So after we lost contact with the girls and Amit, on Monday at noon day, we were informed of his that he's no longer alive, and I had to actually I went to his funeral on the same night, and that was actually the first time that I met his family. And since Gal and Noah were rescued from that same shelter and Amit was no longer alive, and we didn't have any sign of what happened with the girls, we had two options. Either they are kidnapped by the Hamas or they are no longer alive. So we chose...
It's a terrible question, but may I ask, what would you, what did you think? What would be worse, between the two horrible options, thinking of what they're going through if they're, in option one?
It is a terrible question, I agree. You know, as a mother, as parents, my husband Menashe is here with me, you don't give up until they knock on the door. And back then we thought that the best possibility for us to see the girls alive again, it's for them to be kidnapped by Hamas. And so since they have a dual citizenship, we turned into the foreign media and the FBI and the American embassy, and we did everything we could. And we really hoped for them to be kidnapped, because we were naive.
There's still hope.
In a way, we were naive to think that we have a better chance of bringing the girls back home. And then, unfortunately, on Wednesday morning, they knocked on our door the first time to inform us about Roya. Our first question was, is she dead or kidnapped? And they said that she's no longer alive. And then we asked, what about Noel? So they didn't have any answer. We decided to wait another 24 hours. And since we didn't hear about Noel, we had the funeral the day after, on Thursday. And then while having a Zoom call with more American families, with the participation of former President Joe Biden, they knocked on our door again to inform us that Noel has been found dead.
I mean, the pain is immense, unthinkable. How do you keep on going? How do you hold on to the memories, make sure they don't slip away? What do you do to keep them?
I keep myself on the run all the time.
That's good.
I'm just, first of all, I made a decision, or if I can say, I chose to be on a mission of telling the story of October 7th, so nobody will ever dare to forget. To spread my wonderful three legacy and to spread their light, to fulfill their dreams, and when I'm doing all that, it's giving me a strength to keep on going. And most importantly, I have my son here with me. Shai is almost 16, and in a very young age, he has been thrown into this cruel journey, and he's amazing. And his name is Shai, and in Hebrew it means a gift, and is truly a gift to us. And Shai deserves a mother and a father that are able to take care of him, and we all three of us have to find a way to keep us as a family, even though our family unfortunately cut to half. We used to sit around the table, all six of us, the last 4 years. Amit joined our family, and now we are only three. And it's
that's where you feel it the most, like.
Exactly, and this is why we don't sit around the table anymore. The table is covered with pictures, and it's more of like memorial table. But Shai understands, and is my pride, is my hope, right? Is my everything.
Guess you'll do something instead and have to find a new ritual to go on. What is one memory that stays with you, Dafna, and never lets go?
Well, living in the kibbutz, we have lots of memories, for sure, and I was thinking when I read the question, I said to myself that it hurts that there's no dreams, there's no place, there's no room for dreams anymore because he's gone. But one very strong memory of us as a family, every morning we take the three girls to the bus station together with our dog, and we just go, we say hi to everybody on the kibbutz, everybody we know. It's a nice stroll in the morning, and after they go on the bus, Ua and I always hold hands with the dog, and then that's how we start our day. Yeah, that's
nice.
my word.
So nice. Okay, today we won't speak of blame or responsibility, but please tell us, where do you find the strength to rise each morning? Where do you find the hope to move forward? That's a question for either one of you, whoever wants to answer.
I want to say my girls, but it's not all on them. They have their own life to live, and they're going to live a good one, I'm sure. I think it's something inside, and also maybe for Ui's sake, so he knows that we're okay, we're going to be fine. Although sometimes I feel it's not fair that we should be fine, because everything has been destroyed for us. So I guess some days are better, some days are worse, and we just do the best that we can.
Okay, Sigal, maybe you take this last one. As we finish this conversation, I would like to ask you both actually, please share with us one brief moment, the moment when you most deeply felt the longing for your loved ones. So it will be another way to know Uli and Noel and Oya a little more closely.
It's a tough question. We miss them every day, every minute. I can't think of something specific. But as we sit in a table, Friday dinner.
See that?
Same, it's really difficult to just pick up one memory or a single moment, but for us, Fridays were the most magical ones. Every Friday we used to gather together to welcome Shabbat. We used to, each one of us had a role of something. And we used to cook together. Roya Menashe was in charge of the music, Roya was in charge of the wine. Each one of us had his own role. Amit was with me actually cooking, and we sat around the table, doing the kiddush, and we felt like, the luckiest family. And the girls' friends used to stop by, say Shabbat Shalom, and they still do, and they're truly thankful for that. They are like our kids still. And just to feel the house alive, I miss that a lot. Full of life and music and friends, and and sitting at the balcony. Our balcony is a very special spot in the house, and the most important decisions or dilemmas are being taken in that balcony, and to sit there with the friends, with the girls' friends on a Friday afternoon, right before Shabbat. It feels almost like the girls are about to get inside, and it's really tough.
Thank you, Dafna Wusso. Thank you, Sigal Steiner Mansouri. You're an inspiration. Really, thank you for sharing with me, with all of us, your pain, your memories. Now, after hearing your voices, everyone here becomes a partner in carrying the memory. And maybe, just maybe, this is a small measure of comfort in that. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to invite now Israel's permanent representative to the United Nations, Mr. Dani Danon.
Chairman of the Board of the Museum of Tolerance, Larry Meisel, former head of Mossad, Yossi Cohen, founder of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, Rabbi Hayer, distinguished UN ambassadors, Zeaba, Shlomi, dear families. Tonight, we bow our heads in remembrance. We gather here on Yom Hazikaron, our most painful day, to honor the memory of those who gave everything so that we could live. Tonight, we honor not only the sacrifice of our fallen, but the courage of the families they left behind. The mothers who became lionesses, raising their children alone. The fathers who buried their sons and daughters but had to live on. The children who grew up with only pictures and stories of a parent they barely knew. The brothers and sisters who carried the pain of absence, building futures their loved ones never got to see. Every family carried a name that was lost too soon. Every community bears the scars of sacrifice. Tonight, we remember the more than 25,000 men, women, and children who have fallen defending our nation and in terror attacks. And we remember the 850 soldiers who have fallen since October 7th. Heroes who stood against the darkest evil of our generation. October 7th was a deliberate attempt to break our people, to murder our loved ones, to shatter our spirit, to destroy everything we have built. But they failed. They will always fail. As we remember the fallen, we cannot forget those who are still missing, the 59 hostages stolen from us, who have not yet come home. We will continue to fight with everything we have to bring them back. On Yom Hazikaron, we honor the price paid for our freedom. We reaffirm the sacred promise we make to every Israeli, that we will never leave our people behind. We will not rest, we will not be silent, we will bring them home, all of them. This is why Yom HaZikaron this year carries an even heavier weight, because the dangers our loved ones fought against, the dangers they gave their lives to defeat, are still here, around us. The pain continues. Today is personal for every Israeli. Each of us has given a part of ourselves to protect our home. Every family knows someone who did not come back. Tonight is personal for me as well. My father, Joseph Danon, fought in the Six-Day War. Later, during the War of Attrition, he was severely wounded in the Jordan Valley in a combat with terrorists. The fatal injury he sustained ultimately led to his death. I grew up knowing exactly what the price for our existence was. I knew that the ability to live freely as a Jew in the land of our people was not something we could ever take for granted. It was paid for in blood, in grief, and in lives. On October 7th, the world was reminded of that truth. We pray for peace. We dream of a day when our children will not have to wear uniforms and carry rifles to defend their right to live. But we face reality with clear eyes. Each of our fallen had dreams. Each of them had a future. Each of them left behind a family that carried their memory with pride, pain, and love. To the families here tonight, your pain is seen. Your courage is honored. You show the world that though the Jewish people may bleed, we do not break. Tonight, we bow our heads to honor the fallen soldiers of Israel. We will defend our right to live with all the strength we have. They try to break us. We are in pain, but we are still standing. We are injured, but we are not broken. They tried to silence us, but our voice is stronger than ever. Those who sought our destruction will find only their own defeat. Our people will live and our enemies will fall. We will carry the pain, we will carry their memory, and we will carry our flag forward. Am Israel Chai.
In the wake of the devastating events of October 7, 2023, the IDF Widows and Orphans Organization launched the Litzidech program, an urgent and compassionate response to support 39 young women who were widowed while pregnant in the Sword of Iron War. Through this initiative, the IDFWO provided emotional support, financial aid, and hands-on guidance to help these women navigate pregnancy and childbirth in the shadow of profound loss. We now invite you to watch a moving video featuring 4 of these courageous women and meet their newborn babies, children who will grow up without their fathers, learning about them only through stories and photographs.
תמיד אמרתי לו שאנחנו גוף אחד. אני ואתה זה גוף אחד, אין יותר אני, יש אנחנו. ועכשיו אני חצי.
אגר דניאל סוזרי, בן זוגי יעקב עוזרי, נהרג ב-7 לנובמבר בעזה, כשהייתי בשבוע 22 להיריון, עם הבת הבכורה שלנו. הוא לא הספיק להכיר אותה?
בועטת.
בועטת בך.
כן, מעצבן אותה.
מיתר, אשתו של ידידיה אליהו, נהרג בקרב בעזה בי"ט חשוון, השאיר אותי עם 2 בנות ובהיריון. פורת אביה נולד 4 חודשים אחרי שהוא נהרג.
גל רביב גליה, בעלי איתי גליה נהרג בזמן שירות מילואים בצפון, והשאיר אותי בהיריון מתקדם עם 2 ילדים קטנים.
שוש, אבי בעלי נפל ב7 באוקטובר, השאיר אותי עם תינוקת בת 0.5 שנה, רומיו, ובהיריון.
כאב מאוד גדול, ועם עבד שמלווה אותנו כל יום, אבל כן, אנחנו חיים.
מה עושים? מאיפה מתחילים?
ואם תלך אל המדים אז רק תחזור, את הזמן לעצור את זבן.
הריון זה הדבר הכי מרגש שיש, והריון כמו שאני עברתי, הריון בתור אלמנה, זה הדבר הכי קשה שיש. ואני מאוד שמחה שהכרתי את ארגון אלמנות ויתומי צה"ל.
אמרו לי כבר בשבעה שיש את המעטפת הזאת של תוכנית לצידך, ושיש מילדות שמצוותים לך ללידה.
את לא לבד, את לא תלדי את הילד הזה לבד, פשוט היו איתי, הם פשוט עזרו לי גם לעבור תהליך של איך ילדים לבד, וטכנית אני לא ילדתי לבד, כי הייתי איתם, הם פשוט היו מדהימות ואור.
כאילו ציוותו לי מילדות מדהימות ורגישות ומקצועיות.
אני רוצה שהבת שלי תצא ותראה רק פנים של אנשים שאוהבים אותם וחיכו לה כל כך. אז הם פשוט זרמו עם הכל, והם היו באמת ברגישות כזאת. הייתה לי לידה מדהימה שהייתה יכולה להיות מושלמת אם רק הוא היה שם. אבל כאילו בהתחשב בנסיבות, אז זה היה הכי טוב שהיה יכול להיות. וזה... את החיבור הזה, זה התוכנית לצידך סתם, וגם הליווי אחר כך.
זה מאוד ריגש אותי, שהם באו עם מתנות לילדה.
מענקים של עזרה בטיפול.
מענקים שמקבלים במהלך ההיריון, מלברית וכל מה שמסביב, שזה מאוד עזר לי.
מענקים בשביל לקנות דברים לתינוק.
למרות שאתה מרגיש הכי לבד בעולם, ואיך אני אעשה את זה? יש מישהו שרואה רגע מה צריכה לקנות לבגדים? הנה, נעזור לך. את צריכה מילדות? נביא לך. את צריכה תמיכה? נעזור, כאילו. אנחנו רואים אותך. ועשו עיסוי תינוקות, והנקה, וכאילו כל מה שהייתי צריכה, הם כל כך היו שם בשבילי להכל. הרגשתי הכי עטופה, והכי אהובה, והכי בטוחה.
מאוד מאוד חשוב ומאוד עוזר.
טוב שהם היו לצידי בכל הדרך הזאת.
תודה רבה לארגון אלמנות ויתומי צה"ל על כל העזרה, על הבירור מה צריך, על הראייה של הצרכים שאתה עוד לא יודע שאתה צריך אותם, ועל הליווי והחיוך והנכונות להיות שם. תודה. אתה רוצה גם להגיד תודה?
בזכות
את התוכנית לצידך. כן, זה מדהים בעיניי. וזה נורא, בו זמנית.
וגעגוע שכואב משאיר לו חור עמוק עמוק בלב שלנו.
זה הנס הקטן שאלוהים ואבי השאירו לי ביחד. את האוצר הקטן הזה.
הוא היה פוגש את הבת שלנו, הוא היה כל כך מאושר. כאילו, הוא כל כך חיכה לה. כל כך... הוא לא הפסיק לתכנן דברים, הוא לא הפסיק... זה פשוט לא קשור שהוא לא פה.
זה לדעת שיש פה ילד שהוא מדהים והוא מתוק, ואבא שלו לא יראה אותו ולא יפגוש אותו.
זה תמיד היה מחבק אותי ככה חזק, ברמה שאני מפסיקה לנשום כבר. זה הדבר שהכי חסר לי, החיבוק. חיבוק פשוט.
אני מדברת איתו הרבה ביום יום. אני מקווה שהוא איכשהו רואה אותו.
הייתי איתם בפארק וראיתי אבא עם הילדים שלו. והם קוראים לו אבא, אבא, תראה, והם מתלהבים והוא מבסוט. ואז אני מסתכלת על הילדים שלי. הם לא יקראו אבא. לא יהיה להם למי... אם אני לקרוא אבא, אבא, תראה, אני מתגלית, שאבא, אבא, תראה, אני ככה וככה. מקומות שיש רק אמהות, אני הולכת.
שלא תלך לי לשנייה בזיכרון ורק תחזור לשלום הביתה.
שהערב ערב חג כבר ערב העיר אורותיה הדליקה צמות השליה הסמיקה כן חג יש בעיר ואני כאן מחכה לצעדך עיר חמה ושוקקת אולי רק אתה יודע מה קרה כאן ומתי. כן, שיכור משמחה ומבכי וכל נשמתי רק אליך לדעת שאלה חייך שעליך שאולי עיר חמה ושוקקת ריבועי זרע והמדלקת ולפתע צמותיה שמתה כי אתה לא איתה. העיר נרדמה על בניה בקרן ירח דומע תלוי הקלונס מתנועע נער רוח החשכול כן לילה השקט עגול ורוגע שלם ועמוק ויודע את כל הדברים כי עיניה שהעיר אומרות הכל. אומרות הכל. אומרות הכל. בשקט, איזו עיר עצובה, כי אתה לא איתה. האופק אדום ויגע, אתה בוודאי לא יודע, אתה בוודאי לא שומע, שהערב ערב חג.
Ladies and gentlemen, 7 widows remain even now without a grave to visit. Their husbands were murdered on October 7th. Their bodies were abducted into Gaza, and they are still waiting to bring them to a proper Jewish burial. Before we close, just a few more words about a place of hope and strength, the IDF Widows and Orphans Organization. The organization works relentlessly for widows and orphans who live among us, carrying invincible burdens every day. We will now hear from its CEO, Mr. Shlomi Nachumson. Together with the organization's chairwoman, attorney Zehava Meidan Gross, Shlomi dedicates himself to the mission of helping families rebuild their lives. When the ceremonies end, when the speeches fade, and when life seems to move on, they stay. They remain with open arms and open hearts, walking alongside the widows and orphans as they face each day, helping them carry the heavy weight of loss and finding with them new ways to live and remember.
IDF Widows and Orphans Organization is the sole organization recognized by the State of Israel to represent and offer support to the widows and the children of the IDF fallen soldiers, also the security forces such as Mossad, Shin Bet, and police.
בסוף זה מקום שמחזיק אותי. אני לא יודעת מה הייתי עושה בלי עוצמה.
כל אחד כאילו עוזר לשני לצאת מהטראומה שהוא חווה.
לצידך in Hebrew it's by your side, and this is exactly what it is. Everything you need to get the high quality of care. I got 3 midwives. I wasn't alone. To know that the organization is with me gives me relief.
אתם צמחתם מתוך הקושי, למדתם לגדול מתוך הכאב, ואתם לכן לא רק מתבגרים, אתם גם מתגברים, וכל אחד ואחד מכם גיבור וגיבורה בזכות עצמם. ואני ממש ממש גאה בכם.
ארגון אלמנות ויתומי צה"ל נותן לי את התחושה שאני לא לבד, שיש מישהו פה שדואג, שמחבק, שמפנק, שמתעניין, שבא ואומר לך, אנחנו איתך בזה. זו תחושה שנותנת הרבה מאוד כוח.
It's some kind of family, of community, וזה מעודד לדעת שיש את המעטפת הזאת, ואם יקרה משהו, אם נצטרך משהו, יש לנו למי לפנות.
אני מרגישה כמו משפחה איתם. אני מרגישה הכי חופשי לשתף, להציף, לדבר. זה מחנה משותף, ששם אתה יכול לפרוק.
ואני ואני מאוד שמחה שהכרתי את ארגון אלמנות ויתומי צה"ל. כל התמיכה והעזרה, זה לא מובן מאליו.
באמת כל פעם שאנחנו מגיעות לאירועים של ארגון אלמנות ויתומי צה"ל, קודם כל באמת יש בזה שנייה לנשום אוויר באמצע הטירוף של החיים והכאב היומיומי. האירועים האלה זה באמת הפלטפורמה שמאפשרת לנו לפגוש אחת את השנייה, שאני חושבת שזה הדבר שהוא בעיקר מעל הכל. כאילו פה אנחנו באמת יכולות להיפגש, יכולות לדבר, יכולות לחוות את הדבר הזה ביחד.
אני חושבת שהחיבור הזה של השכול הוא מאוד מאוד חשוב. יש משהו נורא קל בחברות הזאת, שפשוט מאפשר ונותן את המקום בנחת, ברוגע, בתוך כל הצער הזה. מבחינתי זה עוגן מאוד מאוד חזק.
זה מלאכים שעובדים ימים כלילות בשביל ליצור מעטפת לי, לילדים שלי, וכמובן לכל המשפחות שלצערי נפלו באסון הזה.
I'm honored to invite Rabbi Marvin Heyer, founder, CEO, and president of the Simon Wiesenthal Center and co-chairman of the Museum of Tolerance Jerusalem, established by the center.
This evening, we've gathered at the Museum of Tolerance, Jerusalem, on Yom Hazikaron, to honor the sacred memory of fallen soldiers and victims of terrors. To the bereaved families and parents who are with us tonight, your pain is shared by the entire nation, by all of Klal Yisrael and the world. We are here not only to remember your sons and daughters, but to reaffirm what their lives stood for, the defense of Am Yisrael and the right of the Jewish people to live in peace and freedom in our land. In the face of such profound sacrifice, we often turn to the language of our tradition for meaning. Just recently, we celebrated Pesach, recounting the exodus from Mitzrayim, from Egypt, the birth of our people. And yet, as I'll reflect tonight, the Haggadah omits the name of the man who led that redemption. Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not in the Haggadah. Why is that central figure absent? The answer, I believe, speaks directly to this day, to the kind of courage, leadership, and partnership with the Ribono Shel Olam, with God, that our soldiers and those we mourn for tonight so powerfully embodied. As for Moshe Rabbeinu's very noticeable absent from the Haggadah, the Vilna Gaon commentary says that the night of Pesach, the night of Passover, is a tribute to the Ribono Shel Olam, to God, who caused the Exodus. In order to make certain that homage is paid to God, Moshe's name is purposely excluded from the Haggadah. Yet there is a complex Rambam passage that openly contradicts this entirely. In the 7th parak of Hilchos Pesach, he says like this: according to the knowledge of the Son, so must the Father instruct him. For example, if his son is a minor or simplistic and not clever, he should say to him, my son, we would all be slaves. But on the night of Passover, God redeemed all of us from bondage to freedom in a new world. But if his son is knowledgeable and wise, then he should inform him of the Egyptians and the miracles that were done for us through Moshe Rabbeinu in Egypt, all in accordance with the intelligence of the sun. We see clearly from this Rambam that intelligent people should be told the whole story of the Exodus, with particular emphasis on the miracles of Moshe Rabbeinu. But how could the Rambam possibly say that when we all know that the name of Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest Jew of all time, is totally excluded from the Passover Haggadah? Let us take, for example, Yetzias Mitzrayim. How long the Ribono Shel Olam toyed with the Pharaoh, with Paro. Now let's compare this, for example, to D-Day, when General Eisenhower arrived in London, and in late December 1943, what does he do? He begins working on a plan for the immediate invasion of Europe. On June 6, a mere 6 months later, a massive invasion forces involving 5,000 ships and 500,000 men are deposited in the Normandy coast. Yet the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim, under the direct command of the Ribono Shel Olam himself, takes better part than an entire year for the very first plagues, including Kriyas Yamsuf. Yes, once when we were in Jordan visiting King Hussein, we all of a sudden saw him in a car. Saw him in a car, his car was going 150 kilometers, disobeying all traffic regulations. The reason is quite obvious. Kings can do as they please. How much more so if the Ribono Shel Olam wanted to take on the Egyptian Pharaoh? Such a war would be over even before you could say the word war, if the Ribono Shel Olam was in total charge. The answer is, our redemption story as described goes according to man's clock. And the reason for all of this is the Ribono Shel Olam's insistence. The Ribono Shel Olam says, I don't want to run this world alone. Therefore he created man to be God's partner in order to govern the planet. That's why he appears to Moshe Rabbeinu in the burning bush in the first place. For lack of a better description, the burning bush episode was really a job interview where the Ribono Shel Olam calls out to Moshe, Moshe, and he hires Moshe Rabbeinu to be the chief operating officer, whose responsibility would be the daily operations of Knesset Yisrael. Yes, says the Ribono Shel Olam, you can still refer to me as the chairman of the board, but our relationship should not be the one in which I do all the work. You need to do the work here on the planet, not the Ribono Shel Olam. The Almighty wants real shutfim, partners, who are engaged in the total human agenda, from the economy to foreign affairs, who will pursue peace, and who will do everything to prevent wars. Shutfim, clever enough to repudiate the despots of the world, the terrorists of the world, Yimach Shemo v'zichrom. Shutfim in the forefront of medicine and science. Who cures the sick today? The Ribono Shel Olam relies, rightfully so, on doctors, on people who are out there trying to help us. And how can we participate in helping educate the non-religious? How do we alleviate poverty? He wants people, the Ribono Shel Olam says to all of us, I don't live on earth. Ha-shamayim shamayim lashem. The heavens belong to the Ribono Shel Olam. V'oretz nasan livnei adam. You're in charge here. The heavens are the domain of God, but the earth was given to man. Such partners never diminish the chairman's role. Such partners should complement the chairman's role every single time. And that is what the Rambam says in his commentary on Hilchos Pesach. When you retell the story of the Exodus to your son, he makes the following clarification. that if you are dealing with a child who has no maturity and who might find such a distinction too confusing, then keep it simple and straight with him. Tell him that the redemption of Egypt was caused entirely by the Rabbeinu Shalom himself. But if your son possesses wisdom and some sophistication and maturity, let him in on the whole story, says the Rambam. Tell him the truth. Tell him that we are God's partners. Tell him about the central role played by Moshe Rabbeinu and the great miracles that Moshe Rabbeinu made possible in the whole episode of Yetzias Mitzrayim. You have to take the responsibility for what is happening on the world. L'sakin olam v'malchus Shaddai. You, we, the people of earth, we have to improve God's kingdom. The God of Israel does not seek limited partners. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants general partners who are with him Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and the rest of the week. We are the Segula that must take the responsibility of helping Knesset Yisrael under the watchful eye of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Yes, the Torah is the central pillar that binds all Jews together, but their relationship with the world must be more than just praying, more than just learning in the kollel. It's not enough just to daven, not enough to learn a Yerushalmi or Bavli. Rather, it means that every Jew must be an activist 365 days a year to fulfill the Ribono Shel Olam's request. The Ribono Shel Olam told us all, Hashemayim, Shemayim Lashem, the heavens belong to God. The Haaretz Nosan Livnei Adam, the earth belongs to you. The heavens belong to God. And as we close this evening of remembrance, we return to the same truth. Redemption does not happen through miracles alone. It happens when individuals answer the call, when they step forward, as Moshe Rabbeinu did, shoulder responsibility for all of Klal Yisrael. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu did. That is what our sons and daughters must do. They did not wait for history to unfold. They shaped it with bravery, with faith, and with the love of Am Yisrael. Every time you look at a Gadol Ador, I'm an Orthodox Jew, I'm a rabbi, the Chofetz Chaim, Reb Chaim Moser, Reb Chaim Brisker, the Hasidic Rebbe's, they looked after their kehillah. To the parents and families here tonight, the memory of your children is not only sacred, it's enduring to every one of us. Their legacy is the freedom we all live on to get to today. May we all continue to be God's partners with the strength to carry the light forward. May their memory be a blessing, and we should all be zocher to be as Gold Tzedek and to Mechias Amalek and to all I say about it we have to do to Iran, change their name and make sure that their name becomes not Iran but Iran, meaning they're out of the business of the community of nations. So it should be in Mirz Hashem with the Ribono Shel Olam's help. He'll be as Gold Tzedek b'mheira v'yameinu amen.
כשהיינו עוד קטנים
לשיבולים, עוד תראה שנחזור ונגדל פה ילדים.
שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, אנשים יפים ימשיכו לרקוד על השבילים, ייכתבו כאן עוד שירים ואלפי כלניות יכסו את הכתבים. אתה זוכר כשהיינו כבר גדולים, היינו מסתדרים מאחורי הקיר, סמי אבק שריפה בריח של אוקטובר מצית את האוויר. אבק בנעליים, חיוך בלי פנים, בחיל שבת על השולחן, והדרך אל עפר, הדרך בה ראיתי איך הכל נגמר. שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, עוד תראה שנחזור ונגדל פה ילדים. שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, אנשים יפים ימשיכו לרקוד על השבילים, ייכתבו כאן עוד שירים ואלפי כלניות יכסו את הכתבים, יכסו את הכתבים. שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, זרעי תקווה ינביטו יטפסו אל הגבהים. שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, אנשים יפים ימשיכו לרקוד במרחבים, ייכתבו כאן עוד ספרים ואלפי כלניות יכסו את השנים ואלפי כלניות יכסו את השנים.
Memory is an enemy because it strikes and does not let go. And in this regard, one can never defeat it because it comes unexpectedly. It waits in the corner when we are unprepared, and it is like a sword that penetrates deep into the heart. But memory is also a friend who nonetheless comforts. In moments of grace, it brings back the husband, the father, the brother, home. It gives moments of life to the frozen pictures resting on the shelf or on the piano. It essentially says, yes, he is gone, but he is here, and here he will stay. He is dead, but every story he brings up says he lives. Yes, he lives a different life, but he lives within us. And it is more accurate to say none of them are dead. They are voids. They live within us in another reality. They left a huge void, and they, like stars that shine and fade, float in that endless space. And truly, they have no end. Memory has no end. And we are left amidst the storms of life to fight that memory does not fade, that it does not deceive or blur the great love. So yes, memory lives, and we will fight for it to remain alive. This is our mission. This is the mission our loved ones left us. Written by Iziman. And we will remember, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise to sing together Hatikva.
תופיע ולא עבדה תקוותנו התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון ירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to remember, and we will remember the fallen. We all offer a prayer on this day, as we do every day, for the swift return of our kidnapped brothers, for the safe return of IDF soldiers to their homes, and for quiet days in which we will no longer add names to the walls of memory. Please drive home safe. Good night from Jerusalem.